The international community has accused us of violating human rights. But these creatures are not human. We do not share the same DNA. We don't know exactly what they are. This only reaffirms this government's commitment to keep these subhumans within the zone.
Can we just accept that they are not sub-anything, that people... What you're really talking about is the forcible removal of innocent people from their homes.
Your people have 50,000 years of research locked up. I need your help to unlock that knowledge.
You can heal. You can see things.
You know you don't choose to be the clever man.
I know. You get chosen.
Your brother is going to be mighty pissed off. He's been waiting for this day all his life.
We have given the subhumans every chance to become one of us, and we've been repaid with blood and terror. I want the zone cleared.
We're being hunted like dogs.
Get them out! More people are gonna die unless you act.
Why should I care what happens to some fucking subbies?
That's your job, clever man.
Time for you to step up.
Today is the day we take back what belongs to us!
You people are a disgrace!
We are family! Now and forever!
You're the ones that are subhuman!
Take the head of the morning. World's at a tipping point where only the fit will survive.
There is nowhere for me to be me!
Take the head of the morning forward. Take the head. Take the head of the...
The time for change is now!
You're powerful, boy. You've been dealing with this your whole life. You can't fix the situation. It's happened. Learn from it.
Ladies and gentlemen, an unknown number of subhumans are at large in our city. In order to ensure public safety, the government has declared a state of emergency.
This device removes the hairy DNA, the source of their power.
The initiative means Harrys are no longer a threat to humans.
We're about to change the world.
You abandoned your family, all of us.
We're brothers. Nothing changes that.
This pumping Harry's full of chemicals. Makes them lose their hair, their strength. They're trying to wipe us off the face of the earth. Well, then we need to stop him.
I thought you were long dead.
Where is he?
You're a leader, boy. You gotta start looking like one.
We want to live side by side? We have to find another way.
We get to say who lives here. And who doesn't.
This morning I officially signed the orders requiring all humans to vacate the area commonly referred to as the Zone. The Zone is a safe haven for murderers and violent criminals who refuse to assimilate. And we are going to dismantle that haven. Our citizens expect to feel safe in the streets. People do not want to fear for their lives.
They're going to clean the place out.
Been on the cards for a while now.
What? Kill the Harrys and chuck everyone else out on the street? Who does Matthews think he is?
He wants what you want. The international consortia are lining up to redevelop the Zone. Matthews has been working behind the scenes to make this happen. Cleaning out the Zone is the first step.
Yeah, cleaning it out of people.
But we both know his scheme is never going to happen. You have the money and the right to first development as original occupants of the land.
Well, that's bull. The whole place is going to be razed in the next 24 hours.
Don't worry about Matthews.
He's the minister, the one with the power. We'll get screwed like we always get screwed.
I have cameras everywhere, so I don't think you'll be minister for much longer. Here's what you need to take the power from Matthews. You have the money now. You can help your people. But I'll need you to deliver the collateral for the loan. I want your brother. I was thinking, maybe it's time you wound up your work in the zone. At least till after the baby.
That's 8.5 months away. What am I going to do instead? Stay home and crochet?
There's a thought.
I intend to work until the day I drop.
If you're working in an office or a GP practice, maybe.
Come on.
It's a dangerous place. It's not your battle.
Someone needs to take a stand. Those CA animals use capsicum spray on an unarmed man today.
Exactly. A volatile situation. There's not just you to consider.
You're thinking about your heir. You are, aren't you? Our baby is in the rudest of rude health. Okay, I did an ultrasound today and its development is off the charts.
Must be my good genes.
What are you going to be like in 8.5 months, eh?
A monster.
Impressive call you made about his clan. Where'd you get that?
I'm just interested in a lot of different things. New, old, ancient, spiritual things.
Things that aren't any of your business.
It's lucky for that kid I'm a nosy bastard, isn't it?
You knew my uncle.
I did. Through the art scene. I'm a collector. Jimmy had a good eye.
Rubbish. Jimmy wouldn't know a dot painting from a Rembrandt. Why were you at his funeral?
I was a friend.
Never mentioned you.
Maybe you weren't listening.
Go to hell. Uncle Jimmy was the closest thing I had to a father.
You people thought he was a drunken old fool, but I took care of him. And he opened up to me, shared things with me. We learned together.
Wasn't his place to do that.
Jimmy thought it was.
This is not yours to play with.
It's not a game. You're a smart man. Be smart. You think what it might mean to combine ancient teachings with knowledge of the future.
And then? Do what with it? What the hell did you and Jimmy do together?
Things I would never have dreamed were possible.
I know you think Jimmy was special, but I wouldn't trust everything he gave you.
He chose the wrong Cleverman, didn't he?
The main locations we've got at the moment are we had a big lab scene which has evolved throughout the series.
I played Jarrod Slade, a kind of media mogul, a tycoon, an inordinately wealthy man, a self-made man. We talked in sort of pre-production about figures like Richard Branson, who kind of have that more touchable quality, a more kind of everyman quality to them. His manner belies really, how wide his tentacles spread.
Okay, on go. 3, 2, 1, go! And cutting.
He's into media, farming, all kinds of different business. He's a cultured man. He's very erudite, has a wide range of interests, and not least science. But as the series unfolds, a slightly darker intent emerges.
For Waru, it's the realization of what's actually happening to the Harries in terms of the experimentation that Slade's using.
He's trying to get to grips with what it is in their DNA that makes them what they are. And that's when he teeters into unacceptable scientific investigation. It was one of those lovely emails you get from your American manager with a couple of scripts attached and a synopsis and a letter from Rosemary Bright, the producer, saying that they were shooting it, and they provide a whole load of background information about how the story came about. And the Aboriginal mythology that characters like the Cleverman and the Harries within the stories, these sort of superhuman individuals, where those stories came from. So it was a very kind of, it was a very full email with a whole load of background information. Which you take in, and then you read the scripts. And I read the scripts, and I thought it was just a very, strikingly kind of original drama. I don't think I'd read anything like it, and I really liked the feel of the role. So I needed no persuasion. As an actor, I invariably choose just because of writing, really. I always think that if you have really good writing, then there's bound to be very good people behind it on a director level, on a production level. So I said yes, and then it was 3 or 4 months later, well, or maybe not that long, a couple of months later, we started shooting in Sydney. I play Jarrod Slade, who's a media mogul. He is a very powerful, wealthy man. And he has his tentacles spread far and wide. He's into property, he's into media, he's into pharmaceuticals, farming, but he's a self-made man, and I suppose in some ways a man of the people. We use Richard Branson, Virgin's CEO, as a kind of blueprint, which felt right in lots of ways. Because he's a very approachable. He's not remote. He has a kind of good common touch about him, and Slade's like that as well. I suppose the only difference is that Slade is doesn't promote himself quite in the same way as Branson does. I don't mean that negatively, but if there's a hot air balloon, Richard will be in it. But Slade doesn't. He kind of keeps more in the background. And that's partly because he is, he has a number of things going on, and I think he quite likes to be invisible. But yes, so a very wealthy man who, at the beginning of the series, is helping fund a medical center within the zone, this ghettoed area where the Harries and more of the impoverished people from society have been contained. And so he's using his own money to try and help them with medical facilities. And I suppose his role within it is he's trying to find a solution to the racial divide and the racial tension. And he's putting his energies into that. And there's a benign aspect to it, but there's also a slightly worrying aspect because of the science that he's starting to investigate to try and extricate that DNA that makes the Harries what they are, and then you're starting to get into morally slightly dangerous territory. It's always a guessing game, and you never know. But all I can say is the themes of it are very universal. You sometimes in a situation I find myself in now, I can say, well, no, but it really is, and you sort of you tentatively reach for echoes around the world, but there's nothing difficult in this series. It's so clear. What the themes are, and they should be relevant for wherever you live in the world, sadly, because it's about racial divide, and it's about, really at the heart of the story, it's a relationship drama, but it's about how do you live with the other in society, those that look different from yourself, have a different language from yourself. And we've got swathes of people who are walking Europe trying to get away from their own countries and find an existence in other countries. So that's what this drama's about. That's in a nutshell what it's about. It's about this different group coming in that the majority population are very fearful of, and they want to exclude them, and they want to blame them, it echoes back into into Aboriginal issues and what they suffered when, when the white people arrived. But it's not specific to that. But it's specific to Aboriginal folklore. As I say, the Cleverman and the Hairies are figures that are taken out of Aboriginal folklore, and I think woven very, very subtly and cleverly into a kind of futuristic drama. It's set, a few years indistinct, but it's in the future. And it conjures up. It feels like it crosses genres. The drama. It's very hard to place it. I wouldn't quite know what to call it other than it's underpinned by the relationships. It's about brothers and mothers and husbands and wives, and that keeps it, very, very grounded. So although there are these many different elements to it, fundamentally that's really what grounds it, what it comes back to, and hopefully why we care about the people in it.